the mysterious Melchizedek. When the stars witnessed the covenant, in an age when the light of truth was fading and the memory of the one God was all but lost, the planetary guardians stood at a crisis. The spiritual legacy of the garden had failed. The revelations of Dalmatia and Eden were broken, scattered among myths and idols. The world teetered on the edge of spiritual darkness. And so, in a rare act of divine mercy, a high celestial being volunteered to come to earth, not as a phantom or a vision, but in actual human form. This was Melchizedek, a paradise-origin son of God, who materialized in the land of Canaan around 1100 BC, appearing as a man among men, without father, without mother, without beginning of days or end of life, as later scripture would echo. He took on the name Melchizedek, meaning King of Righteousness. He lived in a small city called Salem, the city of peace, and taught a simple but revolutionary truth. There is one God, creator of all, and faith in him is counted as righteousness. To the people, he was a priest, a teacher, a radiant figure whose presence stirred awe and reverence. But to those who knew the ancient codes, Melchizedek was more than a teacher. He was celestial. The Dead Sea Scrolls, hidden for centuries in the caves of Qumran, spoke of him not as a mere mortal, but as a divine judge, a warrior of light sent to battle the forces of darkness. Melchizedek will carry out the vengeance of the judgments of God. He will drag them from the hand of Belial, and he will by his strength judge the holy ones of God. 11Q13 called in 2. And then came the moment that would define a spiritual legacy. One evening under the still sky, Abraham, then known as Abram, walked up the hills near Salem. He was drawn not just by the wisdom of Melchizedek, but by the divine presence he could not explain. Melchizedek met him there. His robe shone in the starlight. His eyes, ancient and clear, looked into Abraham's soul. "Lift your eyes to the heavens," he said, pointing to the sky ablaze with stars. Abraham obeyed. Silence reigned. "So shall your descendants be," Melchizedek declared. "Not through blood, but through faith." And there, beneath the stars, a covenant was made. Abraham gave tithes, Melchizedek gave bread and wine. And he blessed Abraham, saying, "Blessed be Abram of El Elyon, creator of heaven and earth. And blessed be El Elyon, who delivered your enemies into your hand." That night, the stars were witnesses to a spiritual rebirth. Abraham's faith would become the seed of 3 great religions. And Melchizedek's mission, short though it was, would echo through eternity. The Dead Sea Scrolls record something astonishing. The writer of 11Q13 attributes a verse from Isaiah 52:7. "Your Elohim reigns, not to God the Father directly, but to Melchizedek himself. He will proclaim liberty to the captives. As it is written, your Elohim reigns." 11Q13. To apply the title Elohim to Melchizedek was to identify him with the divine. He was not just a priest of God. In the eyes of his followers, he was a manifestation of God's presence on earth, an agent of divine justice, a heavenly king, and the one who would proclaim the Jubilee, the liberation of souls. After 94 years among mortals, when his mission was complete and Abraham's spiritual lineage secured, Melchizedek dematerialized, returning to his celestial estate just as mysteriously as he had come. There was no grave, no death, only stories, scrolls, and whispers of the King of Salem who came from the stars. His legacy lives on, not just in scripture but in the hearts of all who seek righteousness through faith.